Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing this reading for, excuse me, I've got a cold, earth signs. That's why I haven't been reading for the last week. I lost my voice. So someone out there may have lost their voice, or felt the reason a need to speak up, or couldn't communicate exactly how they felt, and maybe they weren't supposed to talk to a certain person. So Spirit chose to rob them of their voice. We've got here today, the tarot decks we're using is Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, which is really nice artwork by Howard David Johnson. We're also using Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell that I was gifted at a circle of women empowerment group. The Fairy Oracle cards by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Selena Fennick, which I bought from Rainbow Runner. So we are coming to a full moon in Virgo, from what I could tell. We're going to have a Mars conjunct with Venus retrograde, which means electrical gadgets will go haywire. Channel messages is fire in the kitchen. I dreamt about last night. Stress and anxiety represents power and destruction. Houses represents you as a whole. If your house is on fire, it indicates you feel your life is going up in flames, or as in burnt out by your job or responsibilities at home, which I've been diagnosed with. That's why I've been sick. I've suffered from burnout from doing lots of hours over Christmas and not having enough time to get over it, because Christmas is a busy time. Lots of people will be happy with the amount of pyjamas I possibly sold to them because I really loved the product. So we've got here, the first card we pulled is the High Priestess. Now this to me is saying that you may be a psychic medium. I've got Virgo in my chart. I've got a Virgo moon. And it means that this can also represent Taurus as well. So if you may be a Taurus, you may have Taurus in your chart as well. It's trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking any action towards anything. Doing lots of meditational walks, maybe going for a walk, going for a bike ride, skating, anything where you're moving is going to be really good to get your downloads. Now the downloads will come through to you through the daytime or through the nighttime. See how she's got that crystal up above? That's a downloaded message, which is a pure message, which you can do a meditation on by breathing in with the quartz crystal and breathing out the negative with the black obsidian. So you can do that meditation. I think there's one on YouTube that I've seen that's a really good one. So on the next full moon, which is now, which is usually a 1 week away, but it's actually now, we're on a full moon in Virgo. It's saying that all these things will come through to you, which happened to be today, is the full moon. Mine came through last night, that message. So we've got here that you're going to, in 1 month's time, look at how you're living, try and figure out ways to de-stress, because stress and anxiety is a huge factor at the moment in why you're sick. Noticing the signs of positive outcome. Any difficulties you experience are nearly intended to make you stronger, and they aren't really blocks at all. Trust that new ideas you have at this time are inspired and worthy of your time and energy. You're crystal clear on what you do, even if you doubt yourself. Have confidence in your own insights. Communicate in a clear and concise fashion in order to avoid confusion. But don't try to be cold when you're speaking your truth. It's pure crystalline thought. The companion represents the potential strength and courage you will grow into. So it's saying that your past, you already had a gift and you grew into it. It's also saying that it's a waxing moon at the moment. I've got my little notes here because I like to figure out where we are. Technically where the planets are aligned and how come we've got things that break like gadgets. My mother's lost, she bought a brand new lawnmower and it broke. It broke within a day. It just stopped working. She couldn't turn a car ignition on and went into fault. My son's car's got issues. It's getting fixed. It's all electrical. Always electrical when it comes with air. Gemini. rules the communication as well can be affected, because my communication, I can't speak my truth because I've been unwell and it's been interrupted, the communication. Balance. You may have in the past tried to balance between your masculine and feminine energies, and everybody has them. You may have to merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time, so there's no need to rush. So that, of course, the feminine would be the red blood, and the masculine would be the white, which would represent other things I can't say on YouTube. Now we've got here 8 of spring. Now spring, or wands, is to do with days. So 8 days ago, you may have had a lot of stress going on. You may have been trying to juggle work, juggling family, juggling a bunch of things. All the things you love to do, but just maybe you placed too much importance on the time frame you had to get it done in. Unnecessary pressure on yourself. It's also talking about 8 days ago you may have fallen in love with someone, or you felt a kinship to. They may live at a distance from you, because we've got 8 arrows usually represents 8 arrows of love, but it can also represent air travel. You may have had to travel 8 days ago to or from a destination to another destination. Then we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is to do with the good news that comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely, or repaying a debt. That can also mean that you want to volunteer. You would be liking to give back to someone who may have helped you on a mental level, maybe through doing, like you may call up a place to talk about your feelings because you're suffering with burnout, or you're upset about something, like Lifeline does. And there is a counselling hub that people you can call up and get counselling for. And so I've been doing that since my grandmother passed away, and even before that, and I would like to give back, because I've worked for them before, and I find satisfaction by giving back to the people that have given to me. Now in the next card we've got, which is coming up, is the Emperor. You may have an Emperor interested in you, as in someone that's high in power. He may be a leader of types. He may be, I don't know, a prime minister, or a leader of a church, or a leader in a spiritual community, or he could just be something like a priest, or a leader of the church, a king, a prince. He's got to be there to be logical and structured to increase your success, get organised, and a firm but compassionate leader. You may have someone who exhibits all parts of all the decks, the suits. So we have here a King of Cups, King, which is the heart that's pictured on there, it stands out to me. King of Cups, he may be very compassionate. He could be a world leader, there's the world. He could be, he has the sword, which is the sword of truth, so he has to use discernment and use his logic to make and reason. And then he's got the wand, so the wand would represent his passion to follow through on a certain thing, what he believes in. And then you've also got the Pentacles, which is logic and structure and making practical decisions, day-to-day decisions, to help his community or the people that look up to him or follow his guidelines. He may have to make decisions for the country he rules in. Now, you may be interested, I'm saying it's a Virgo moon. You earth signs may be interested in a sword card, a person who is a lawyer, or a speaker of truth, a CEO of a company, a public speaker, a professional and objective person. This person may not be very emotional. His favourite friends are his books and his owls. He likes to learn. He likes to debate. The word comes to mind is debating. He's not someone that you would go on romantic walks on the beach or things like that. He's more wanting to figure out your mind. He's interested in what you have to think about things, how you get along on a mental level, like a cerebral level is what I'm getting. Now, this person may have been unwell recently. So you may have been unwell recently. It's saying you have a return to health, which is the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. And it's saying here now, you may be using your logic and your reason and your unicorn's horn, the golden horn, which they drank out of to stop and protect themselves from being poisoned. You may have to be careful about what is poisonous to your body, whether it's arguing with other people, or certain environments or certain foods may irritate you. and you're discovering that you have to use natural therapies in order to heal yourself, which I found chamomile tea works a treat when you have a cold. And it actually flushes out your system and helps with inflammation. So if you've got a problem with chest, like I've got like a chest thing, cough with, coughing, you need to break down that phlegm, I would definitely go with chamomile tea. Now what is coming towards you is 3 people. You have 3 interested parties. 3 of these people may all have fire in their chart. So they could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarian. It says plan your next steps with an eye to the long term, have patience, there are more good things to come, satisfaction from a job well done. So it's saying you may have just come out of a long a work commitment, which is like a contractual thing, and it did really well and they were successful, you reached your target and everyone was happy. So that there's lots more money left over for this quarter if it's a business situation. Then we've got, so that to me would be the sun. I would probably use a tiger's eye. You get these from Rainbow Runner in Hamilton, New South Wales in Beaumont Street, and Adrian will sort you out with all the right crystals for each individual. Now I would use amethyst as my lucky talisman. My grandmother gave it, well, it was hers from Scotland. The amethyst is the crystal for the Aquarian. And we're still in Aquarius, we've just entered Pisces season, but we were recently in Aquarius season. You may have Aquarius in your chart and you may have Pisces in your chart. The 3 of Wands can be 3 opportunities coming in as well. You may have 3 job opportunities that you have to choose from in the space of a week, in about a week's time, is from what I can go off from this reading. Giving or receiving assurances of success, satisfaction with a job well done, seeking out exciting new adventure and business travel. You've accomplished much and now that hard work is paying off. While you wait for your rewards to be delivered, this is a good time to take a moment and ponder your next step. You will need to adopt a long-term perspective. The knowledge you've gained since the beginning of the latest correct endeavour can be used to create even greater success in the future. It's important to have patience while now your dreams continue to bloom. They will flourish, but it will take a little bit more time. Yeah, so it's like waiting for your ships to come in. You've got 3 opportunities coming in, which will come in the next 3 days. And wands also represent full moon. We're on a full moon, so the next 3 days after the full moon, which will be, what's today? 26. So maybe you'll hear something on Monday. The 9 of summer is to do with a wish come true. You may have a wish come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time of life, and it can also represent a fairy godmother is going to grant you a wish. So maybe someone who's passed away, who was your fairy godmother or magical grandmother, is going to grant your wish. Whether that will be something you made a wish for on your birthday, because we were recently come out of Aquarius season. It's saying that it will happen in 9 months' time. A wish. Wow, that maybe you didn't even speak aloud. What's this month? This is February. November. Yeah. 9 months' time, a wish will come true for you. And is it to do, I'm curious, is it to do with a relationship? Maybe you asked for a relationship. Third sign, maybe you asked for this specific relationship with an air sign that you are interested in. It's saying yes, you're going to be granted that wish. Oh, another one to come out. Sometimes they don't want to come out as quick as what I shuffle them. They just come out when they feel like it. Oh, no, that's to do with the nightmare that you might have had last night. Nightmare, panic attacks, stress and anxiety, focusing on worst case scenarios rather than what's actually happening. Virgo's being attention to detail, close attention to detail. Maybe you're extremely hard on yourself. Oh, maybe it's the family that you crave, the family that gets along. You may find friends that are like family, or a community that is like family. You may be part of a spiritual community that is like family, and you might meet someone in that community in 9 months' time. Maybe they're coming out of something. They might have been married or divorced, and they're just deciding to part ways, and it's going to take them time for legal battles to go through. that can happen as well. Now we've got here the deck by Rebecca Campbell, who has her own channel, I've noticed, and she does meditations as well. So we're shuffling this as confirmation for what will happen. Oh, that one fell out. Trust your path. So if you've asked a question about what's your next path, which way you're going to be led to, it says trust your path. If you knew, what would you do? Would you be supported? What would you do? And then there's an awakening. Somebody may be going up a grade. That's interesting. Let me see. Awakening. I don't know if that's an inquiry card or an activation card. Because these have different meanings, because they've got inquiry cards and activation cards. Awakening is 90, is an activation card. Trust your path is an inquiry. So your inquiry is what's my next path? What am I supposed to be doing next? And the activation is you're meant to wake up, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, a new way of living. 54, trust your path. Again, not that familiar with these, so I read out of the book. If you knew what you would be supported to do, no matter what would you do? What would you do? The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, it can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Most people don't follow the highest call of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day within a year, you'll want to write a book, write a page every day, and if you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to that. Before you know it, in just a year from now, you'll turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. I'm going to shut this window, this noise outside. Right when I'm trying to do a reading. So it's saying here, you're going to journey. You've got to do something every day that supports your journey or what you would like to do, and to change careers. Do not one thing to dedicate it. Before you know it, you'll see how far you've come. You will turn back and look in awe at how far you've journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself up to a whole new level of support and receiving. Things are not going to work out the way you were planning, but if you have a little faith, keep showing up, they'll work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. So it's saying that you're going to be guided to doing something. Maybe you're growing your YouTube channel. It's something as simple as that. Trust me, it's not an easy path. I thought this was an easy thing to do, but I've realised it's so much more to it than I ever thought. And I've been teaching myself as I've been going along. Awakening. Now, the awakening is the activation part of it. The doing, the verb, the action card. The awakening is as simply as meditating or going on walks. And so it's sort of saying, awakening. 90. Right. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you at many levels. You are starting to... I'm sorry about the noise. I'm going to shut my door so I don't hear it. You are starting to... remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing an invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling a kundalini, skatey rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and stay grounded. Share your experiences with soul-light people while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering and your soul gifts are emerging. Due this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, creations waiting to be birthed into the world. And creations waiting to be birthed, stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign you're here to birth one of these creations into the world. Perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following. Work your light activation. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself to the universe using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. That's a powerful message. Very nice. I was talking to a friend of mine who's also a spiritual worker. She does Reiki, and we were talking about the Akashian records yesterday. Now, Edward E. Casey and Mr. Robert Steiner were two people that believed in the Akashic records, which is like it's like a force field that is around everything, every single living being, and every single animal has a force field around it that interplays on each other, that has records of past and future, all in the one area. These certain occultists or people that are that spiritual or that psychic can see the past, the future, all in one day, once meeting someone. So this is what happens, and this has been happening to me since I had a near-death experience and come back different. I now see future events and past events within the day when I do daydream. I do daydream when I meditate. On my left side, the visions coming is the future vision. On my right side, I've read this from the Jose Silva book. This is how I figured out what it was. The daydreams on my right have already passed. And I get to see that on a daily basis. Between 11 and 1 is usually the times I get to see it, because that's when the doorways are open. It's like a portal for me to visit future and past. Because I'm so awakened, I can't shut it off anymore. Then I was talking about this to Robin, who's a psychic, and she was telling me about the Akashic records, and I should go and read up on Edward E. Casey, who has written books on it as well. He was back in 1918 or 1920 he wrote his books. Edward E. Casey, true occultist. Now, next card I'm going to pull is for the Fairy Oracle, Wild Wisdom by Lucy Cavendish. I just want to pull two cards. I've shuffled. The Gift. Got that a lot recently. No, I've had that before. One card. Oh! The Gift is a fairy lover. Someone who is like you. Oh, it's my favourite card. One of my absolute favourites. It's love. It's fairy love. Look at the card. It's infatuation. 46. New love, romance, falling in love. Oh, new love, enchanting, all important. It's like breath, food, or water. We fall in love, and all the world is lovely to us. We radiate a dense kind of golden glow. Our brain activity changes. We find it hard to sleep and eat, and our chakras are wide open and spinning and spinning. Our cells are singing to our beloved, and oh, how we pine for them. Even to be with them for a moment, we think of them all the time. New love can be stronger than the will to live, and finding love can give us the desire to live forever with our beloved. It is not the same as mere lust or desire. It is altogether more necessary for our existence than either, splendid though that can be. When we fall in love, we experience bliss and rapture on such levels that to return to a normal state would seem wrong and unnatural. Our chemistry changes and our dopamine levels fire up, leaving us feeling like we are about to receive the greatest gift possible. And we are. Love is sweet and powerful, and it is nectar to our own divinity. These fairy lovers here have found each other. They are courting still, but they are not sure yet the sweet rapture of giving it into the desire. But it is coming, as is yours. There will soon be flirtation, intoxicating interplay, a flurry of exquisite energetic activity between you and another. You're about to be intoxicated and drink of fairy nectar, and know that this is to be alive fiercely, brightly. Fear not that it will burn bright and brief. The flame, if you accept the cycle of magical time, could last forever. Smitten, crush, and ambrosia drink. Someone's got a really big crush on you, Earth sign, if you're a Virgo, or we're in Virgo moon, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, and they are an air sign. Yeah, air sign is very interested in you. The Gift. You may receive a gift from them. They may try to offer you something, but maybe you think it's a falsehood, and maybe they have lots of admirers. I'm guessing that they are widely admired on the internet. possibly they could be a celebrity, and they've seen you come across something you've written. Maybe you just happen to, I don't know, message them on their page, and now they're trying to give you things, and you're going, no, I'm not clicking on that because it's possibly spam, and you're not accepting it, which is, you know, you kind of have to do that. A gift which has to do with your well-being, health, and transformation. A proposal to help you change your life that is small and not in the least grand or glittery, but which has enormous substance and potential to it. Work with your hands. The art of working with earthly elements is encouraged and supported by the faith. Silversmith, blacksmith, jeweler, nurse, farmer, vegetarian, energy healer, animal lover, conservationist, builder, or eco-mystic. A peaceful resolution to trivial disputes, the de-escalation of disagreements through tenacity, focus, strength, courage, and through research and investigation. Reverence for beauty, inspiration from the earth for jewelers, artisans, craftspeople working with the ores and stones of the earth and converting our ideas into reality by revealing to us the practical, elemental processes that need to take place in order for us to bring our visions into the material plane in an enduring and earthly fashion. Respect for the innate usefulness of all things which so many of us cannot see. This card indicates you would do well to take on the view that all the purpose, which is the antithesis of the disposable culture we live in now. Make the most of what you have, and the gifts from the earthly realm of the gnomes will come forth in abundance. Law of attraction. And that's all I have for you today. For Earth signs.